All right, my new goal is to get these done in 5 minutes or less. Let's see if we can do it. So on NVDA, the NVDA rate, looking at the flow here, I'm kind of just eyeballing it first. I'm looking at 35,000 plus premium because that gives me a good view of what the last half hour of the day was like. Now, here's what's interesting. So if you look at the flow chart, you're always going to want to get a snapshot. 64% bearish, right? But you're always checking the price action of the index too, right? Always checking the price action of the index because that really helps you determine what's anomalous, what's not. So I'm seeing all these call orders come in. Yeah, we're seeing put orders, but we're also seeing a lot of call orders, 162K. We see some 1217 puts, but we also see 1217 call, 1217 call, 141K, right? 1223 call to end out the day, 916 call next year to end out the day. So what we're seeing is bullish action with this bearish action that's not really skewing one way or another. When you have ask side flow on, you really want to see like 70% one way or another at least to really tell you that means that it can move that direction. That's how I usually look at it. So we see again, we're not at that 70% yet. We're at 65%, right? So this is kind of still a coin flip when you're using ask side flow, which is filter I use. So let's look at the index. Now, when those put orders came in, because remember we're looking at the last half hour of the day. Let's look at the cues. Basically follows tech. On the 5 minute. Look at this disgusting candle at 12:45. Look at them start. Yeah, 12:45. You see this high here around 12:30, 12:35. And then can you guys see where look at these candles right here. Right? These candles coincide with a lot of that bearish action that we saw in the orders. So we look at those candles, we say, ugh, that was ugly. And then we go here to the flow, and we see people were buying it, right? You got some 1217s in there because people were scared of what was happening, but they're buying it. That's why you have to look at the index if you're going to analyze the flow. Look at this call by size greater than open interest. Volume greater than open interest. All right, so you always want to be looking at that. So I see this, and I see a stock that some slightly bearish overall flow on the ask side, but is actually performing relatively strongly against the index. So next what I want to do is I want to go make my trigger for the video. So let's take it back out to the daily. So we're looking at the daily, no inside day or anything like that. So two ways to do this are, let's really quickly create, let's see if we have any, we don't really have anything good for daily support and resistance up here because these are kind of like uncharted territories for NVIDIA. So when this happens, what do? I could go to the 4 hour, right? Go to the 4 hour, get some more points of support and resistance. Like look at that one right there. Right. Got some right here. Put that right there. We're gonna call that one. For the sake of speed, I'm doing this a little bit faster. All right, so those are going to be our support and resistances for right now. Bam, bam. Ta-da. Okay. So now let's go to the 1 hour. Remember, we do our support resistance on the daily. We do our charting on the hourly. If there's nothing on the daily, we're going to settle for the 4 hour, right? First thing I want to do is find some kind of trend here. Nothing really going on, right? So that's okay because we're going to use the price action. So if we don't see a trend, we're going to look at the price action. Where do we see a lot of what I call clutter? Where does it stop, start, stop, start? What levels does it seem to have struggle getting against? What I see right here, just looking right in front of me on the hourly, remember you want your after hours turned on too. Because look, this candle right here, this green candle, we know from the after hours action that was an important level. This happened at like 2 or 3 PST, right? So look, the same level, the same level here and here, it was important after hours, it was important during hours. That's an important level, right? So what we want to do is draw a box that lets us know from there to there That's an important level because look, 1 point of failure, almost 2 point of failure, 3 point of failure, 4 point of failure, both pre-market and aftermarket. So that, and then look, the same level comes into play right here. If you go back a little bit, that level comes into play right here. So it really starts to get scared just before 325, but kind of to give you a visual, and I know that I'm over 5 minutes, but my dog's going crazy because there's like a plane or something outside. So that's going to be level right there. The joys of living in Los Angeles. So that right there is the price action level we want to clear. And look, it coincides with that daily support and resistance. We're going to scoot it up to make it exact. Get it at the top of this green candle right here. So see, now we've got a price action trigger. And then where do we want to sell? Once we get to 325, look, on the dot, where is it we want to sell? Here's where our targets are. Our first target's really small, right? It's just making sure that we get over this 326 level. Because you see, that's where the next candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. So that's going to be target 1. All right, so I'm going to color that for target 1. And then once we get there, where would our next target be? 327.87, because you see, that's the first place that we again run into price action that reverses. Top of this green wick, this red wick, right? So then that's our next one. So you see, we're just creating our targets, just seeing where it is that we might want to trim, or we think we're going to stop out. So honestly, if I'm looking at this, what I'm saying is, this isn't a trade that I take right here. This is a trade that I take up here. Because it's really the first place where you can go long without a lot of price action getting in your way. But NVIDIA gets a lot of momentum. See that momentum down? Think of that as one long candle. You could also get that momentum back up. So your quick trigger for a day trade would be 325. You're watching it to 326. Then you're watching it to 327.87 as your targets, right? So that's only 1 or 2 points. So that's not a big trade. If you wanted to go for a big trade, you wait till you got up here at like 336. But obviously there's money to be made in here. But it means you have to really be fucking paying attention, right? Because you're like seeing if it reverses here. A way to see if your level is going to be passed is if it breaks through and it retests that level on the 5 minute and it holds, then you know that level's been passed. If it retests on the 5 minute or 10 minute to be extra safe and it holds there, then that level's cleared. You've passed that level. Now this is the next one you're looking for, a break and a retest. Kind of stair steps up. All right, cool guys.